down on Fisher Beach, and there's a huge southeaster blowing, another cut-off low for the season, which is not very common at all. If you look out to sea, all you can see is white water. This is pretty gnarly. I call this a 10 out of 10 day. It's blowing probably over 30 knots. It's a big swell, and our direction is not ideal, but this is what we live for, and this is what we want to do, and this is how we build up our skills. Today's not a day that I would take people out there like on the Downwind camps, however we would go in doubles, but this is the day for the professional and quite an extreme day. So come with me as I get out there on my V12, give it a bash, and see how we go. We are here at Miller's Point. That's Buckhoven Rock over there. I'm going to paddle around Buckhoven Rock and then head to Fisher. As you can see, the wind and the waves are basically coming straight into shore, which is not ideal. Ideally, I'd like it to be going more this way, downwind towards Fisher, which is where I'm going to go. So I think the tactic today, as soon as I go around that rock, is basically for at least until the lighthouse, is to surf hard right. So every time I get my nose into a hole and catch a little run, I'll surf hard right and keep my speed and keep going hard right the whole way, and then hopefully the final few kilometers I'll be able to straighten out and surf the run straight into Fishhook. It's not as big and as crazy as I thought it was going to be. It is, I mean, it's definitely fairly big conditions today, but I think with the tide being low and the swell being big at the beach, it seemed a bit bigger than what it was. So looking forward to this. I've got all my stuff, I'm nice and warm, got my safe tracks, I've got leash, and I've got somebody watching me from shore. So I've taken all the precautions, and I'm just going to see how this goes and give it my best. Okay, so we are 2 kilometers into the run. I am managing to get a good line to the finish. I'm looking pretty good to be going in line or maybe just outside the lighthouse, which is good for considering how easterly the conditions are today. You won't see me pushing down these big swells in this direction too much yet, maybe at the end, but what I'm doing is as soon as I get speed to the left, I'm using that speed and cutting back to the right just to stay on my line. And what I also do is, as soon as I cut back to the right, I'm using that speed to get onto a smaller one with that speed, so I don't have to like stop and then paddle myself to that smaller one. I'm surfing onto it. So what I'm trying to do is surf from run to run, but still when you're going like in this direction, there's a lot of chop that I'm having to paddle over, and that's where the work comes in. But even if you're paddling over chop, you're still on a run. So now I'm on this run, look at the nose going up and down, so I'm going through wind chop, but I'm still on the same swell like this. Okay, now I've been overtaken by a ground swell. Now I look for a little one again, still got some speed. Okay, let's get the nose in the hole here. You see, there we go, into that one. See, I'm not going that way, I'm keeping my line this way. So I'm disregarding the big swells that are moving in that direction. I'm surfing over them. See how the ski goes up and down, like that. So there's the big swells moving under me. So I'm riding the smaller ones that are going in this direction. And that's the key, is to be able to actually look and see and tune into what the runs are doing and what you want to catch. You've got to get into a pattern. There's always a pattern and a rhythm, and as soon as you get that, it becomes automatic. maybe later in the run, when the big swells line up with my end point, then I'll turn left and ride them to the left. But for now, okay, like this I'll go. So now speed once, I'll get some speed. Okay, wrong direction, but I'm getting lots of speed. And I get the speed, and look what I do, surf back to the right. Here we go, 20 k's an hour there, over 20 k's an hour, 21 k's an hour. Now use that speed and look what happens. Straight on to another one. That's all because I caught that big one, turned off early, and now this is what I get afterwards. So all of these that I'm catching now, it's as a result of me catching that big one. But notice, I didn't ride the big one for long. As soon as I got onto it, I turned back to the right. And now we start the process again. Start again. Okay, 3:38 to that kilometer. Not bad at all. Lift up, it's on my swell. Look at me, I'm still going on the same one as I was before. Even though the ski lifted up and down, this is the same run that I was on. Okay, now drop off. Looking for another little one. Okay, just keeping the speed going. These in between runs is where it counts. Okay, let's get onto this. Bit of extra effort. Yep, perfect. Now a bit to the left, and then straight back to the right. Okay, so I'm on a good line. I'm looking like I'm going outside the lighthouse, which is perfect. So it'll mean that on the second half of the run, I'll be able to get some of the bigger ones and ride them for longer. Notice now my speed's down. Now I start again. I don't force it. I wait for the right run. Here we go. Use the run to build up the speed. Using the run. Notice my cadence. Short bursts, I guess. Boom, boom, boom. Quick burst, and then I slow down. Still want to keep paddling. I don't want to lose this run, but I'm actually resting now. Now I get a nice rest. 5-10 seconds. And let's go again. Got speed. Okay, I leave that big one. Don't get there. Still working it to the right. Look at that. There we go. Okay, it's gonna build up for me. Got the white water here. There we go. Perfect little run. Very nice. Easy paddling, and I'm going here at 16 k's an hour. Okay, let's get over there. Now I won't get there. Just let that run pull me along. Going easy, not forcing anything. Okay. So this is quite interesting. This is what I'm showing you now is how to effectively piece together a downwind in not ideal conditions. What I'm doing is there are some latent bumps going in the right direction, so you really have to make an effort to seek those ones out. So seek the runs out that are going to your end point. Look for those. You got to tune into those runs, because that's where your base speed is always going to come from. It's from those runs going in that direction. Now this is quite a advanced lesson, because what I'm taking into account when I teach you that is that one, you need to be super stable, because they're basically, if I turn my head to the right, you'll see all these swells that are coming from the right are basically coming across and under my ski non-stop. So I'm constantly being washed by these swells coming from the right, but because I'm stable, I'm able to maintain my rhythm and keep the ski upright. And I guess what I'm doing is I'm allowing the ski to roll left and right the whole time, but my head and shoulders are staying still and my paddling stays unaffected. So that whole thing that I just explained is a super advanced skill to have, and it's not necessarily something you're going to have by being like super stable in the K1. You actually need to be used to paddling in the sea. So yes, an element of it will come from being stable, like, you know, like for instance, put it this way, if I was an Olympic K1 paddler, so I'm super stable in the K1, like I paddle my K1, I sit with the seat seriously high, so I've got no problems with stability in a K1. If a guy like that who had never paddled in the sea came here now and sat in this V12, it wouldn't be the same. He would feel completely unstable and insecure just because he doesn't have the muscle memory. Yeah, he'll build it up quickly. By second or third paddle, he'll probably be sorted out and he'll sort of have the roll of the ocean. And then if we teach him how to look for runs and which ones to look for, he'll get it. But what I'm saying is, time in the saddle, time on the sea really, really, really matters. So if you bought a ski, you know, if it's a fairly stable ski, provided it's not like a V14 or an extreme racing ski, it's like a V8 or a V9 or something like that. If you feel unstable at first, don't worry too much about it. Just go paddle on the sea and get used to it. Get your hips and your abs, get your core used to the roll of the ocean. So that was a bit about stability. So now we start again. So I was a bit out of rhythm now with all that talking. Now look for a little one. Okay, here we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so that last kilometer, all that talking and messing around, is 3:51. Not bad. Here's a nice big one. Gonna get all the way to the bottom. Woo. Okay, not quite. Kind of sat at the top there. Still fun. Didn't really get the return there. So what I'd say is that one wasn't really worth it. It's a good example of when to leave the run, go for the next one. So start again now. Pretty much would have been in the same place even if I didn't go for that run. There's a nice one. Okay, I'm not going to go for that big one, I'm leave that. Holding up my speed. See how it's washing across the side of the boat. Super bumpy. That's what we want. Yeah. Woo. There's a run, and straight away afterwards, so it's very important. Like when I was paddling hard after that run, what I was trying to do is back it up. So after you catch a big one, it's quite common, because you've worked quite hard to catch a big one, to slow down quite a lot. What you find is, because you work so hard to catch a big one, you often miss the two runs that come right behind after that. And that's like if you're in a race, that's when guys will end up catching you. So always say, after you catch a big one, back it up straight away, no matter how tired you are. Just put in those extra 5 or 10 strokes and back it up with another run. You're gonna go at 110% the whole way. It's impossible. You've got to give yourself those short moments of rest. But the problem is, you can't stop and rest. The boat has to keep moving, because once you stop, you're completely at the mercy of those big ground swells. And that's when you get washed out, washed around, boats get spun out, and good chance of you falling out. Okay, so let's get back to business here. just going for the small ones, not powering everything. Look at that, very difficult now. Runs are basically bouncing off those rocks, those cliffs over there and coming back, so it's a bit of a washing machine. But still, even though it's a washing machine, I'm still able to spot the odd little run that's going where I want it to go. And I'm literally talking about runs that are 10 centimeters big, tiny little runs, but they're just enough to get the boat moving. And remember, I'm in a V12 Elite, so I'm in a very light racing ski. So if you're paddling in a V8 or a V9, even a V10 Sport, where the hull is a bit wider, it's going to take you a little bit more effort to get the boat going. So that kilometer there, that whole kilometer was 4 minutes 35. And that was just using the little ones, not going for the big ones at all, but just keeping the boat moving. Hopefully you got some tips out of that. Head to the YouTube channel for the extended videos and the full versions of these edits. Okay, so that's quite interesting. Notice now, when I want to go for these big ones, that I'll ride the little ones in this direction, and you'll see a big one will form up. I'll go over the back of the ski, over the back of the run, the wave in this direction. But then as I go up, I'll start turning the ski on the top of the swell, and then immediately try and tuck in behind it. Okay, but I've got to have speed from these little ones. That's the key. And also I've got to try and turn as tight and get in right behind that swell. Okay, let's see if I get another one of those now, where I can show you how to do that. So going to the right. Now remember, I want to get one of those big ones that are going to the left. Okay, not yet. So I've got some speed. Still going. Wanted to do a proper one. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Big one. Turn on the back of it. See, tight turn and straight away into the hole. Okay, that one still ran away from me. So I got the next one. I actually wanted to catch that other one, but I didn't have enough speed. Didn't turn tight enough. So let's try again. So I get some speed. Here we go. Okay, can't get over this bump. Stay here. Next one. Okay, so getting to the end of the paddle now, almost at the beach, about 600, 700 meters from the beach. Last time I came in conditions like this, I pretty much rode the ski off, or not last time, but I have done that before, because the waves are really crashing down on the bank. So ideally, I don't want to catch a big one. Okay, so let me talk you through coming back in at the beach. So getting back to the beach on a downwind with big surf at the end. What do you do? Because I've got constant wind and swell pushing me along. See, all of this is pushing me along, so I'm not going to sit still. And I've got swells like this, look at this one, that are moving in, that are eventually going to become waves. Now ideally today, because the tide's low and the swell's quite big, I don't want to catch a wave, but if I manage to get a little one that can take me across that sandbank, then I'll go for it. So what am I actually doing now? Number one, I'm maintaining my speed. Like this one I've got now is perfect, because it's not going to break, but it's maintaining my speed. And when I've got speed, I've got options. It's when you've got no speed that you haven't got options. See, now this is a problem. I've dropped off the back, I've got no speed. I don't want to paddle into that impact zone with no speed, so I'm actually going sideways along the beach, letting this one pass under me. Okay, this is going to get tricky now actually. So after this wave, I'm going to let this pass under me, and then I'm going to chase this thing for all I am worth. There we go. Okay, that's tricky. Don't want to catch that. Look at that wave behind me. Now that's what I wanted to get away from. That's why I chased this swell. There's no ways that I wanted to be there where those ones are coming. So I managed to skirt along the top of this wave. It was super tricky. I had to turn back left to get off the swell, but it got me across the sandbank, and look, now I'm paddling in without a wave. That is definitely the right choice for a day like today. You don't want to catch one of those waves on the bank. That was an amazing downwind. Really enjoyed that. tricky conditions, but once again, great to be out there. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments what you think and what you want to see more of. Cheers.